Tonight I want to share something that may seem almost too simple to accept. As you listen, notice the part of your mind that immediately pushes back. That resistance is not your wisdom speaking. It is the voice of your old identity guarding the familiar and keeping you separated from the life you desire. You do not need an hour of meditation. You do not need candles, perfect breathing exercises, elaborate rituals, weekend retreats, or the right phase of the moon. You do not have to prepare yourself to receive what already belongs to you. You do not have to prove your worth before you can live from the end. All you truly need is 5 seconds. The moment I say that, another voice probably appears. It whispers, "It can't really be that easy. Something this important must require more effort. I should struggle first. I need more discipline, more practice, more spiritual growth before I deserve it." Listen carefully to that voice. Don't follow it, simply recognize it. It is not protecting you. It is your old state trying to survive. It is the mindset that has kept you trapped, convincing you that fulfillment must always remain somewhere in the future. Here is the truth. Living in the wish fulfilled is not a place you eventually arrive at. It is a position you choose. And a position can be adopted in this very moment. No permission is required, no preparation is necessary. You simply decide to occupy it. Before we go further, let's clear away one of the biggest misunderstandings about this teaching. Many people imagine the state of the wish fulfilled as some dramatic spiritual experience. They expect overwhelming emotion, powerful visions, or an unmistakable surge of energy that proves they have done it correctly. So they close their eyes and wait for something extraordinary to happen. When nothing spectacular appears, only the quiet of an ordinary moment, they believe they've failed. They assume they aren't spiritual enough, or that these principles work for everyone except them. But that conclusion is built on a misunderstanding. The state of the wish fulfilled is not the emotional explosion that comes when a desire suddenly appears in your life. Think about the shock, relief, tears, or excitement someone feels when something they doubted finally happens. Beautiful as those emotions are, they still reveal that fear and uncertainty existed beforehand. The person who unexpectedly finds love celebrates because they once believed love might never come. The prisoner who is released feels overwhelming gratitude because imprisonment is still fresh in memory. Those emotions honor the change, but they are not the permanent state itself. The state Neville spoke about is far quieter. It is what remains after the excitement has faded. It is the calm certainty that develops when your desire has been yours for so long that it feels completely normal. Imagine someone who has always known financial abundance. They don't stare in amazement at a restaurant menu or feel anxious purchasing a first-class ticket. They don't secretly hope their prosperity continues. They simply move through life expecting abundance because in their mind that has always been true. That quiet confidence is the state, not emotional fireworks, but a steady inner atmosphere where your good feels natural, expected, and unquestioned. It is the silent assumption that what you desire is already part of your reality. This is what Neville meant when he taught that consciousness is the only reality. He wasn't pointing to moments of emotional excitement. He was pointing to the ordinary awareness you accept without questioning. And here is the part that can change everything if you allow it. You can enter that state in just 5 seconds, not because it lacks value, but because it has never been far away. You don't have to spend years searching for it. It has always been available, waiting for you to choose it. It has always been here, waiting on the other side of one simple inner choice. The moment you stop chasing it and step into it, everything changes. I want to say something about long meditation sessions. This is not a criticism of meditation itself, but for many people, it has quietly become a barrier instead of a bridge. Think about what happens when you sit down and tell yourself, "Now I'm going to enter the state." Without realizing it, you've already placed the state somewhere ahead of you. You've made it a destination instead of your present reality. In that moment, your subconscious receives one clear message: I don't have it yet. I'm trying to get there. This is what Neville pointed to again and again. Reaching is the attitude of someone who believes they are missing something. A hand stretched toward an object is a hand that does not believe it already possesses it. Every minute spent struggling to create the feeling is another minute spent reinforcing the belief that the feeling hasn't arrived. After 20 or 30 minutes, the mind often becomes exhausted. Doubt quietly enters. You begin asking yourself, why can't I feel it? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe this works for everyone except me. Instead of leaving in the state of fulfillment, you leave having spent that entire session emotionally confirming that your desire is still absent. Now compare that with 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, there is no opportunity to keep searching. There is no time to measure today's experience against yesterday's. Question whether you're doing it correctly, or wonder if the universe heard you. 5 seconds leave you with only one option: to be. You simply step into the identity you choose, the same effortless way you put on a jacket. No ceremony, no overthinking, no constant checking. That is where the simplicity becomes so powerful. You discover that becoming the state happens instantly. All the preparation you believed was necessary was never the real requirement. The only thing separating you from it was the belief that it existed somewhere outside of you. Now let me share the method, not as another complicated technique, but as the most natural movement of consciousness. The first second is simply to pause. It doesn't matter where you are. Maybe you're standing in line, waiting at a red light, watching water boil, or sitting in the silence between two difficult moments. Wherever you are, allow your inner momentum to stop, not by forcing it, but the way flowing water naturally becomes still when it reaches a quiet lake. For one brief moment, you are simply present. The second is to let go of the inspection. Most people don't realize they're constantly evaluating their lives. They measure what they have against what they want. They monitor every emotion, every sign, every delay, wondering if the manifestation is working or whether yesterday's assumption was strong enough. That endless inspection is one of the clearest declarations that the wish has not yet been accepted as fulfilled. You don't have to fight those thoughts. Just set them aside for a moment. They'll still be there later if you want them. But for this 1 second, stop being the evaluator of your life. Simply become the awareness observing it. The third second is to recognize the version of yourself who already lives your desired reality. Don't force an image or build an elaborate scene. Simply notice that version as naturally as recognizing someone familiar across a room. This is not the version still hoping, waiting, or working toward the goal. This is the version for whom love, wealth, health, freedom, peace, or success has become completely ordinary. They are not celebrating it because it already belongs to them. Gently acknowledge that identity without questioning it or trying to convince yourself. Quietly accept, that is who I am. The fourth second is to take on their inner posture. Feel the calm certainty they carry. Borrow their natural attitude toward life. Let your thoughts, your breathing, your expectations, and your sense of self reflect someone who no longer wonders if their desire will happen, because within them it already has. The fourth second is the one that matters most, yet it's the one people most often overlook. That is exactly why so many remain searching instead of becoming. A state is not just a thought you repeat. It is a way of carrying yourself. It is the atmosphere you live in, the way you breathe, the way you occupy your own awareness. Someone who has always known abundance does not move through life with the same inner tension as someone constantly worried about money. Someone who feels deeply loved does not carry the same guarded energy as someone expecting rejection. Every state has its own quiet posture. In this moment, you simply take on that posture. You are not performing. You are not pretending. There is no audience to convince. You simply settle into it as naturally as sitting in a chair that perfectly fits you. Let that inner position support you. This is what Neville meant by feeling it real. He wasn't asking you to force powerful emotions. He was inviting you to accept the inner attitude of the person for whom the desire is already an everyday fact. The fifth second is simple. Keep living. This is where the practice becomes a lifestyle instead of another exercise. Don't stay frozen, analyzing what just happened. Don't close your eyes longer to see if something has changed. Don't grade yourself on how spiritual you were. Simply continue with your day. Carry that quiet certainty into your next breath, your next conversation, your next decision, and your next ordinary moment. Those 5 seconds are not separate from your life. They are the point where your life changes direction. Once you've made the correction, keep walking from it. Pause. Release the constant checking. Recognize the fulfilled version of yourself. Accept their posture. Then continue living. Now let me explain why this isn't just an easier method. Repeating these 5-second shifts throughout the day becomes something much greater. It gradually reshapes your entire identity. Many people dedicate 20 or 30 minutes each morning to manifestation, only to spend the rest of the day thinking, reacting, worrying, and speaking from the same old assumptions. They face problems as the old version of themselves. They interpret delays through the belief that nothing has changed. They spend a few minutes affirming fulfillment, then unknowingly spend the next 23 hours denying it. Naturally, they wonder why results seem inconsistent or slow. But imagine reversing that pattern. Instead of one long session followed by an entire day in the old state, imagine filling your day with brief returns to your chosen identity. Every time you reach for your phone, pause for 5 seconds. Every time you walk through a doorway, every time you're waiting at a red light, every time the kettle boils or you're standing in line. Moments you once considered interruptions become quiet invitations to remember who you now are. By the end of the day, you won't simply have visited the new state a few times. Your entire day will have been infused with it. Your consciousness will have spent far more time living from fulfillment than from lack. And since life faithfully reflects the state you consistently occupy, the old identity gradually loses its power to recreate itself. Neville taught us to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and allow infinite intelligence to arrange the bridge of events. He never suggested assuming it briefly in the morning before returning to anxiety for the rest of the day. The assumption is meant to be continuous. It is a way of living, not a ritual you occasionally perform. 30 returns of 5 seconds each amount to only 2.5 minutes spread across an entire day. That's all. Just 2.5 minutes, quietly woven into the ordinary spaces that already exist in your schedule. You never lack the time. The sacred has never depended on perfect conditions or special places. It only asks for a willing awareness. So make this practical, just as Neville always encouraged. A principle has little value until it becomes part of daily life. Choose 3 ordinary moments that already happen every day. Let them be completely natural. The instant your feet touch the floor each morning, waiting for the kettle to boil, stopping at a traffic light, washing your hands before lunch, or pausing before opening a text message. You don't need to create new habits. Simply attach these 5 seconds to moments that already belong to your day, not as another obligation, not as something you force yourself to remember, simply as the most natural expression of the person you have already decided to be, a person who truly understands where the state exists naturally, pauses for a few seconds and lives from it. That's all. After a week, those 3 daily reminders become 5. After 2 weeks, they become 10. Before long, the fulfilled state is no longer something you practice. It becomes the atmosphere you live in. It stops being a destination you're trying to reach and becomes the place you're living from. Then, without dramatic signs or life-changing announcements, your outer world quietly begins reflecting your inner world. It cannot do otherwise. Consciousness is the only reality. When your inner environment changes, your external experience must eventually mirror it. I've seen people use this approach successfully, but I've also watched them stumble over the same mistakes. Let me help you avoid them. The first mistake is waiting to feel different before adopting the new state. Many people pause, choose the fulfilled version of themselves, and then wait for a powerful emotion to appear before they fully accept it. But that's backwards. The posture comes first. The feeling follows. You don't become wealthy by first feeling wealthy. You accept the identity of someone who already has abundance, and your emotions gradually align with that assumption. Your body and imagination naturally respond to the attitude you consistently occupy. The second mistake is arguing with the experience. During those 5 seconds, the logical mind often interrupts. Is this really true? Am I lying to myself? How can I claim something that hasn't happened yet? Those questions don't need answers. Those 5 seconds are not a debate. You are not presenting evidence before a judge. You are simply choosing a state of consciousness. States are never reached through argument. They are accepted. The imaginal reality always comes before the physical expression of it. So let the mind grow quiet and step into the state anyway. The third mistake is searching for proof immediately afterward. People finish the 5 seconds and instantly check for a sign, a feeling in the body, a burst of peace, some confirmation that it worked. But the urge to seek proof belongs to the person who still doubts. The version of you who already lives the fulfilled life doesn't require reassurance. For them, it is already true. Practice the 5 seconds, trust the law more than your changing emotions, and continue with your day without looking back. The fourth mistake is treating the entire process like an experiment. I'll try this and see if it works. That single attitude places you outside the fulfilled state, because the one running the test is still waiting for evidence. You don't test the infinite, you live from it. Don't try these 5 seconds. Simply do them. You don't try to breathe. You breathe. You don't try to remember your own name. You simply know it. The fulfilled state should become just as natural. Before we finish, I want to leave you with a picture rather than another instruction, because imagination understands images more deeply than explanations. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. The relationship you once longed for has become your normal life. The financial freedom you dreamed about feels ordinary. The healthy body, meaningful work, inner peace, confidence, and sense of belonging are no longer exciting achievements. They are simply your everyday reality. Now imagine someone asking how you arrived there. What was the secret? What spiritual discipline changed everything? How many hours did you meditate? What sacrifices did you make? You probably wouldn't remember endless meditation sessions, complicated rituals, candles, or perfectly planned morning routines. Instead, you'd remember the ordinary moments, waiting for the kettle to boil, stopping at a traffic light, pausing before opening a door, standing in an elevator, washing your hands before dinner. Tiny moments when no one was watching, and for just 5 seconds, you quietly became the version of yourself who already lived the life you desired. Hundreds of simple, invisible decisions. Nothing dramatic, nothing exhausting. Just consistently choosing the new state instead of returning to the old one. That is the work. It has never required struggle or suffering. The state of the wish fulfilled is not something you earn. It is something you decide to occupy. And that decision takes only 5 seconds. You can make it now. Pause. Let go of the constant checking. Recognize the fulfilled version of yourself. Accept their posture. Then continue living from that identity. That has always been the practice. It doesn't begin when circumstances improve, when you feel ready, or when you finally believe you've earned your desire. It begins in this moment. This is Neville Wisdom Library. I'll see you in the next video.